Do you remember the first time you synchronized a viewpoint in Assassin's Creed? The camera pulled back, the music swelled, and for just a moment you weren't playing a game anymore. You were standing on top of history. That's the feeling that made so many of us fall in love with Assassin's Creed. And over the years, the series grew bigger, there were bigger maps, longer campaigns, more RPG mechanics, but I think somewhere along the way, many fans felt like we lost something. After spending some time with Assassin's Creed Resynced, I realized something. It didn't just modernize a classic, it brought back what we've been missing. When people talk about the older Assassin's Creed games, they usually mention the cities, the parkour, or the hidden blade. But I don't think that's what made them special. I think it was the feeling that history was alive, that every rooftop had a purpose, that every target mattered, and that every synchronization point revealed another piece of a world that was begging to be explored. You weren't just checking objectives off of a map, you were uncovering a mystery. Now listen, don't get me wrong, I genuinely enjoyed games like Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla, and I especially enjoyed Valhalla because I played that game during COVID and I was living in this place in Oregon that was fully remote and there was literally no internet or anything, and Valhalla became a very special game to me. So those games were beautiful, they were ambitious, and they were packed with a ton of things to do, but sometimes they felt less like Assassin's Creed and more like a massive open world RPG that was wearing Assassin's Creed as the name. The focus seemed to shift a little bit. Instead of carefully navigating crowded cities and planning assassinations, we often spent dozens of hours clearing icons from huge maps. There was still fun to be had, of course, but it wasn't always the same feeling that made many of us fans in the first place. That's why Resynced surprised me. It reminds me that Assassin's Creed doesn't need to be the biggest game in the world. It just needs to capture that sense of discovery. Climbing buildings because you want to see what's waiting at the top. Moving across rooftops because it's literally just a lot of fun. And exploring a world that feels handcrafted instead of endless. Of course, the updated visuals help, the smoother gameplay helps, but what really stood out to me was something much harder to describe. It reminds me why I cared about this franchise in the first place. And it wasn't because it was the largest game, it's because it made me feel like this was an Assassin's Creed game again. And listen, here's the thing. I don't think this is just nostalgia talking. Good game design doesn't become outdated. A strong atmosphere, meaningful exploration, a compelling historical setting, those things are timeless. Resynced works because it respects what made the original memorable while making it easier for modern players to experience. And I honestly think that's a difficult balance to strike. And I think Ubisoft deserves credit for that. So if you've been wondering why so many longtime fans have been talking about Resynced, I don't think it's because it's perfect. It is really, really good, don't get me wrong. But I think it's because it reminds us of something that we forgot. Assassin's Creed was never just about collecting gear or completing a massive checklist. It was about stepping into history, exploring incredible places, and feeling like every rooftop, every single leap of faith, and every mission had a purpose. So if Ubisoft continues building on that foundation, then maybe this isn't just a great return to a classic. Maybe it's a reminder of where the future of Assassin's Creed should be headed. So I don't know, what do you think? Let me know. Did Assassin's Creed Resynced bring back what you've been missing? Or are you still waiting for the series to recapture that magic? Let me know in the comments below. Please like, subscribe, and continue to follow me along as I keep talking about games from this lens. And just remember, everybody, every day is game day.